at all. America is a long-standing, deep ally of the United Kingdom, and our two relationships have always been built on mutual respect and trust. We have strong and enduring ties and links with our sister party. We've always stood shoulder to shoulder as two countries, and that's where we should be again.
Did Sadiq Khan just commit political suicide on the global stage? The mayor of London's recent comments about Trump have set off a firestorm of controversy, leaving many wondering if he's crossed a line he can't come back from.
Perhaps his mayor should, really now just keep his views to himself, because Trump has a mandate and a big majority.
In a shocking turn of events, Priti Patel stepped into the ring on Sky News, ready to deliver a knockout punch to Khan's diplomatic blunder. You won't believe the scathing critique she unleashed, exposing the mayor's lack of tact and potentially derailing his political future. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video. Sadiq Khan's recent comments about Donald Trump have set off a diplomatic firestorm, leaving many to wonder what could have possessed the London mayor to make such a controversial statement. Khan, known for his outspoken nature, has a history of clashing with the former US president, but this time, he may have crossed a line that even his supporters find hard to defend. In a scathing newspaper article, Khan unleashed a tirade against Trump that left political observers stunned. The mayor of London didn't mince words, calling Trump a poster boy for the far right around the world and comparing him to 20th century fascists.
Labour Mayor of London this morning has written in a national newspaper that this heralds the march of fascism.
These weren't just off-the-cuff remarks. They were carefully crafted and published for maximum impact. The immediate fallout was swift and severe. UK-US relations, already strained by Brexit negotiations and trade disputes, took another hit. Diplomatic channels buzzed with activity as British officials scrambled to do damage control.
We have strong and enduring ties and links with our sister party. We've always stood shoulder to shoulder as two countries, and that's where we should be again.
But the question on everyone's lips was, what was Khan thinking? Some political analysts suggest that Khan might be trying to boost his own profile on the international stage. Others argue that he's genuinely concerned about the rise of populism and sees Trump as its figurehead.
Well, actually, I don't agree with Sadiq Khan, but that's not surprising. There's very little that I agree with the Mayor of London on.
Whatever his motivations, the consequences for London and the UK could be significant. Expert opinions on the appropriateness of a mayor commenting on foreign leaders are divided. Dr. Emily Thornberry, a professor of international relations, argues that while local politicians have a right to their opinions, there's a time and place for everything. Khan's comments, however justified he might feel they are, could have serious repercussions for London's economic ties with the US. On the other hand, political strategist James Forsyth believes Khan's outburst might be a calculated risk. He's positioning himself as a global voice against what he sees as dangerous populism. It's risky, but it could pay off if he has ambitions beyond London.
Sadiq Khan warning about the march of fascism as Trump takes power again, suggesting that there is going to be resurgent fascism.
The potential consequences of Khan's statement are far-reaching. Trade negotiations, security cooperation, and cultural exchanges could all be affected. Some worry that Trump supporters in the US might retaliate by boycotting British products or canceling trips to London, hurting the city's tourism industry. As the political fallout continues to unfold, one thing is clear: Sadiq Khan's words have ignited a debate about the role of city mayors in international politics. His supporters praise his courage, while critics accuse him of overstepping his bounds and potentially damaging British interests.
And it's really not for politicians in other countries to start making disrespectful and disparaging comments about President-elect Trump.
Just as the dust was settling on Khan's controversy, Priti Patel stepped into the spotlight on Sky News. Her words were about to redefine the entire debate, but not in the way anyone expected. Patel's appearance on the popular news channel was nothing short of a masterclass in political communication. She began by addressing the elephant in the room, the impending inauguration of the next US president. With a calm demeanor that contrasted sharply with Khan's fiery rhetoric, Patel stated, "I think first of all tomorrow is the inauguration of the next president of the United States. I think we have to respect the fact that he has a very significant mandate."
He has won a huge mandate. The American people have put their hopes and trust and confidence in him to...
As you were saying earlier on, The issue is the inauguration, the second Trump term.
This opening salvo set the tone for what was to follow. Patel's approach was measured, diplomatic, and focused on the bigger picture. She didn't just criticize Khan's comments, she dismantled them piece by piece, all while emphasizing the importance of maintaining strong international relationships. The Home Secretary's critique went beyond mere disagreement. She highlighted the need for the UK government to foster a robust relationship with the incoming administration. In a pointed remark that seemed to be aimed directly at Khan, Patel argued, "I would argue that first of all, the government should be really advocating building upon the foundations that we put in place for a trade arrangement."
America is a long-standing, deep ally of the United Kingdom, and our two relationships have always been built on mutual respect and trust.
This statement wasn't just a rebuke of Khan's approach, it was a lesson in diplomatic tact. Patel managed to defend British interests while simultaneously schooling the London mayor in international relations. Her emphasis on respecting democratic choices and maintaining diplomatic ties stood in stark contrast to Khan's confrontational stance. Political analysts were quick to pick up on the stark difference between Khan's and Patel's approaches. While Khan's comments had set off a firestorm, Patel's response was surgical precision. She managed to critique without inflaming, to disagree without disrespecting.
He wants to give the American people a better future, and we should respect that. He has a clear mandate.
It was a display of political acumen that left many wondering about the potential consequences for Khan's political future. However, public opinion remains divided. Some have rallied behind Patel's call for diplomatic respect, praising her for putting national interests above political point scoring. Others, however, have criticized her for not addressing the substance of Khan's concerns about the incoming president. This division reflects the broader political tensions surrounding the UK-US relationship, with varying opinions on the appropriateness of Khan's original comments.
No, of course it's not, and I think Sadiq Khan's comments are absolutely unacceptable. There is so much that's unacceptable.
In the wake of this diplomatic dust-up, it's clear that tact and discretion are more crucial than ever in our interconnected world. The repercussions of Khan's comments could echo far beyond London's city limits. As political analyst Dr. Sarah Jenkins points out, this incident highlights the delicate balance local politicians must strike between representing their constituents and maintaining international relationships.
The inauguration of the next president of the United States, I think we have to respect the fact that he has a very significant mandate.
The long-term fallout for UK-US relations remains uncertain, but Khan's political future might be on shakier ground. Former diplomat Richard Hawthorne suggests Khan's comments may have scored points with his base, but they've potentially alienated key international allies. This begs the question, in the high-stakes game of global politics, can local leaders afford such bold moves?